there's cat hair. I forgot to check and see what the lighting settings were. Hold on. Okay, so clearly I'm a little out of practice. I think the last vlog I made, beginning to end, I have a few that I have been recording clips for. I guess they're not really vlogs. They're kind of vlogs, they're more long-term things. I have one that I've been working on for all of the markets of the year. But anyways, the last vlog I finished and published was the hourly comic day one in February. So yeah, it's been a while. It is August, I think it's the 12th today. Yeah, it's the 12th today. I have my coffee here. It's my second cup of coffee. It is a time 10:48 a.m. It feels a little weird. Normally I'd be heading out for my Tuesday shift right now, but I recently quit my day job. And this is my first day of working on my business, Stet Studio, full-time again. It's been over a year. It's been almost a year and a half at this point, but not quite, that I was working another job part-time and then trying to do Stet Studio work full-time on top of that. And we had finally gotten to a point where it was possible for me to quit my job financially. My girlfriend has a job that pays well enough that we think that we should be able to do it. But I definitely need to be able to continue contributing to the household as well. It can't just be, you know, me not contributing anything. So yeah, I thought that I would restart doing studio vlogs and kind of, you know, record this second attempt at going full-time with my business. I don't really know what else to say. If you're new to the channel, new to this series, if this is your first time coming to Stet Studio, welcome. I have made a lot of YouTube videos over the years, but I did recently private most of them. I left not all of, but a lot of my studio vlogs from the last time I was working full-time public, and some of the tarot videos, but I need to go through the older ones, which I just privated en masse, and see which ones I want to make public. But yeah, there is some other stuff if you'd like to watch other videos if you're curious what's going on, or maybe you're watching this video in like 2028 and you're like, oh, you've got 2 years of vlogs. I'm not worried about the older stuff. Anyways, yeah, I thought I would document this and perhaps talk about what I'm doing different this time, what I think might be more successful, and places I'm pushing my growing edges. And I also wanted to include a little bit more of like daily life stuff and like crafting stuff. I do have a separate channel called Stet Stitches, and there are a handful of videos on there if you'd like to watch them, but I was thinking about just kind of incorporating crafting things into this channel and like just other bits of day-to-day life stuff that I want to share but don't necessarily want to make a whole video about. So I think the first thing for today is to start cleaning this office. It has been in dire need of a clean for a long time, and I've been just kind of putting it off because I've been so busy. I put in my 2 weeks. I did those last 2 weeks, and then the next day we left to go on a small trip. It just ended up working out like that. It was the first vacation that my girlfriend and I had taken together in at least 2 years. So that was nice. It was nice to get to spend some time together. Yesterday was my reintegration day, as I call it, with the way my brain works. I find it very hard to just go from traveling and vacation, and somebody's doing yard work. I don't know if you can hear that, but I find it very hard to go from like travel straight back into day-to-day life. So it depends on how long the trip is sometimes, and like how intense it is. Sometimes it takes more than 1 day, but this specific time it took, you know, I had one rest day where I just kind of didn't really do much of anything. I did end up organizing my books a little bit, but I did like a lot of resting, a lot of reading, and that was, you know, exactly what my neurodivergence needed. But so yeah, today is my first day working full time again, and I'm nervous and excited. Let's do it. I'm gonna put on my audiobook, drink my coffee, and I think I'm gonna do this in 30-minute bursts. I'll do something else, after 30 minutes. I think maybe I'll work on a to-do list and, go from there. So yeah, let's do it. It's Thursday. I did not get a whole ton of this office cleaned yesterday. I am going to keep cleaning. My goal is to do like a couple 30-minute chunks every day, just to, because I knew it was going to take longer than a day, like deep in my soul, in my heart of hearts, I knew, but part of me was like, I'm going to get everything cleaned up. It's going to be amazing. No way that was going to happen today. There's just so much stuff. If I want to do a really thorough, deep clean, it's going to take more than one day. I just realized, hold on. Okay, I hope you can see me all right still. I had you sitting on both things I wanted to show you. This notebook I bought yesterday when I was running errands. I went and got to have a new tarot tracking notebook. I have one already, but it's kind of a mess, and I think I'm mostly going to use it for just like note-taking from here on out, which is fine. And I kind of like the idea of having this as a sort of like, I can flip back through it and see all the work that I've accomplished, not just with tarot, but like with other things that I'm working on, goals for my business. So this will be my sort of goal-keeping notebook, so that when I'm feeling discouraged, I'll be like, oh, look at all the stuff you've done. Maybe not everything's worked out, but you've done all these things, you know? So I went and got that. The main reason I went out was because I need to get a few things that we missed on our grocery shopping the other day, like, you know, like body wash and paper towels, stuff like that. But also, because I had to go to the library and pick up my interlibrary loan of this book, which is called Suits Me, The Double Life of Billy Tipton. It's written by Diana Wood Middlebrook, and it's got something stuck to the cover. Ew. Anyways, it's a biography of a trans man who was a jazz musician, and what year was it published? I don't know. I feel like the 90s, maybe? Yeah, 1998. I think he passed away in 1997, and that was when, unfortunately, they revealed that he had been assigned female at birth. So, you know, it's kind of like, ooh, the scandal of this famous musician. He was really a woman sort of thing, which is annoying, but I am interested in either writing about him in my Not Just History blog post series that I've been working on. I'm also always looking for more topics for my tarot deck that I'm working on, my Queer History Tarot deck. So yeah, who knows? Billy Tipton might end up in either of those projects. Plus, I just love getting to read these books, and I'll probably do a blog post review on it. Today, I also have a business coach call, like a consult type thing, to see if I might be a good fit for this particular business coach. That is at noon. So it's just now 10 o'clock, so I have a couple hours till then. And I also just received an email from someone who's interested in potentially getting a house portrait. Painted custom house portrait. That's something I do. I don't... Discord is popping off my group chat. That's something else I do. That used to be a part of Stet Studio, but I have kind of separated that into something called Second Story House Portraits. Mainly just so all of the, like, marketing and branding and stuff can be focused towards that, because it's a bit different than what I do for Stet Studio. But yeah, it's custom watercolor house portraits. If you're interested, I'll leave the link. You can check it out. But yeah, somebody sent me an email and I read it on my phone, but I want to go in, email them back. I'm really excited about that. I need to probably update my informational packet. I call it my terms and conditions, because it explains how the process works. It explains what I will be providing, what they're responsible for, you know, the sort of the boundaries and guidelines. Like any good relationship, there are boundaries and all of that. So yeah, I need to go in and update that, because I have started offering payment plans rather than just half the payment initially and then half upon completion. So I want to include that. I don't know if that's something that this person is interested in, but I'm really excited about it. I love when people share with me why they're interested in getting a house portrait, like the story behind it. And this person did. I don't have permission to share it, so I'm not going to. It's really exciting. It's really sweet. They sound like an awesome partner. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'll probably do a little more cleaning. I think I'll have lunch after the meeting rather than before. Probably just have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've kind of been on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich kick. We also need to figure out what we're having for supper tonight. Maybe pasta and veggies. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't know. What's going on today? Wish me luck. Today is the 17th of August. I didn't end up posting this video. I was thinking that I was going to do it weekly, but I think at least for this first one, it'll probably be 2 weeks of content, or 2 weeks of footage, I suppose, because there wasn't much except for me cleaning last week, I feel like. It was a weird week. Very weird. It was just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I don't know if you can see, I continued cleaning off camera, and things are starting to get done, which is nice. The next step will be the cat room, which is the spare bedroom. We call it the cat room because it used to have their litter boxes and stuff in it. And it does still have a cat tree in there, but it's still the cat room. Yeah. If you're here, I don't know if you can see what I'm wearing or not, but I'll stand up real quick. Move my chair. This is a shirt I made. It's pretty cute. It's the one of those like kits to sew a Cabbage Patch doll, like plushie. You have the front and the back, and then you'd sew them together and right sides together and flip it and turn it into like a little pillow or very basic stuffed animal. And I made it into a shirt, and I really like it. It has some buttons on the side to hold it shut. It's just kind of plain. It's not the best. I do kind of wish the shoulders were a little less sticky out, but it works fine. It'll be a great layering piece come the fall. So today I don't have a huge list of things to do, but they are more intense things. Let me scroll through here. I have a group chat with friends where we talk about our to-do lists and stuff. So we've got, I need to send a message to my doctor through the online portal. I need to update my income and expense book. I keep track of my banking for my business in a book rather than in a digital like software like QuickBooks. I used to do that, but I stopped doing that this year. Reach out to potential wholesale contacts, which is what I'm working on right now. Then we have print house portrait posters, which I can do while I'm updating income and expenses, like they can be printing in the background. Obviously, I'm not going to do that while I'm on the phone. And then finish writing first draft of Solar Punk short story. It's actually more of a draft 1.5, but I haven't written all the way to the end yet. Anyways. So yeah, those are the plans for today. So far, I've been working on the wholesale contacts. I went through and wrote down the different businesses that I gave sample packs to when I was on vacation, and went through and found their contact information. Most of them, it was phone numbers and emails. One was just an email. I already did that one. I wrote an email to them. And then we have one that's a phone number and a contact form on their website. So I'm going to go through and call these people and then send emails to the ones that had emails available, because the one I didn't see an email that I thought would be a good like contact point. And I'm really nervous. I've really struggled with calling companies that I would like to do wholesale with. I have a hard time talking on the phone, but what millennial doesn't, I guess. Yeah, so I wrote myself a script, and yeah, I think that I really just need to take a deep breath and do it, honestly. Hi, my name is Noah, and I'm with Stet Studio. I'm reaching out because I dropped off a sample pack of items with an employee on the 9th for like wholesale, and I was just wondering if y'all had any questions or if there was anyone who would be interested in speaking to me about placing a wholesale order. One done. That wasn't as scary as my anxiety made it out to be, of course. All right, and the next one, stop at Reddit. Hi, my name is Noah, and I'm with a business called Stet Studio. I dropped off a pack of sample items potentially for wholesale, and I was wondering if y'all had any questions or if there was someone I could speak to about potentially placing a wholesale order. Kind of fumbled that one, but Could have been worse. All right, last one. Hi, my name is Noah, and I'm with Stet Studio. I dropped off a sample pack of products on the 9th, and I was just reaching out to see if y'all had any questions or were interested in placing a wholesale order. All right, well, thank you so much. Okay, I need to be quick because this says that I only have 6 minutes left on the card. I gotta empty my card out, but I just got my first wholesale order. I'm gonna be, I don't know how much the camera shut off. I have any idea what you caught of that, but one of the stores. Okay, I'm recording this on my phone because my camera keeps shutting off. I don't know how much you saw of that because, like I said, it keeps shutting off. But I just got my first wholesale order and I'm really excited. I'm shaking a little. Yeah, I'm shaking. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but I'm really excited. So one of the stores was interested. They're interested in getting my watercolor pride flag stickers, which is so exciting. That's one of my favorite products. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm going to do, I think that was the last one that I needed to do. So I guess I'm going to write the order up and then go from there. I'm so excited. Oh, I knew that it was so important for me. I knew that me calling these businesses was so important, but it was so hard for me, and I did it. And it worked. It worked. I'm going to have to bleep that. I'm sorry. I'm just really excited. This is a really good day. Oh, I'm so excited. All right. Let's get to work. Let's stop freaking out.
Realize,
hey, you don't need to do that.
They've seen me, their princess, wearing a man's clothes.
You don't need to do that, my love. Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to do that. Hey, leave it alone. Thank God. What a baby that we have. What a Mr. Holy man. What were you helping?
She hadn't really felt any ire from the Halpern people. If anything, she felt indifference. She was just another body on the street. Perhaps that's why she hated them. She'd worked all of her life to become something important for them. In her mind, she'd been dominated by the monster that was Halpern and its god king. And then, in the end, the city and its people had simply ignored her. She didn't matter to them. That infuriated. One of the Adrian men, an old.
Look at this boy. This is what we do every time. We're looking for what? The 27th is where we're starting, little man. Got cat hair in my mouth. Of course you're gonna sit right on the thing I need. Here, if I move it over, will you lay there? No, you're gonna lay directly in front of the camera. Can you pick a spot? You smell, what do you smell like? You smell like something. What have you been in? Not litter. Just lay down. Lay down. Yes, I love you. You're a very good man. But I need to do this thing. I want to have lunch. I want to get this done and have lunch. So I can spend the rest of the day writing. Come on. Lay down. Yes. Just get even closer to the camera. That is perfect. That is perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Alright, let's see here. Expensive, $7.13. I need this hand. This is a two-handed operation. Yeah, so I decided to do this way because I was tired of how confusing QuickBooks was, and I did look into other companies to see if they had a product like similar to QuickBooks that I would want to use. but it really honestly just was not, like, didn't feel comparable. None of them had what I really wanted it to have. So it just wasn't worth it. And also the other big thing is, with everything pushing AI now, oh my gosh, I got cat hair all over my face. I don't want AI in my finances. Every time AI gets involved, it feels like they mess it up in a way that then I have to spend time unmessing it up, so to speak. Yes, I need this. Thank you. So this is supplies. So basically, I bought one of these bookkeeping books at the beginning of the year and started using it. And it has been a learning curve, but thankfully my mother has managed the finances for businesses before using this sort of book, and she was able to help me sorry, I've got like the hiccups and my brain's just kind of all over the place because I'm trying to think and do this and talk at the same time. I should probably honestly just shut this off and finish it and go from there, you know? Alright. Yeah, I think that there are too many moving parts for me to do this on camera. So yeah, that is, you know... Here, I'll show you a blank page. You can see what it looks like. This is what the blank pages look like. And yeah, this is what I do weekly. I could do it monthly, but I found weekly's better. I've missed a couple weeks, so I'm catching up right now. Obviously, we're at 8.3 to 8.9, but yeah, this is how I do my books, at least at this point. I like to do my editing, at least for short stories, on paper. It helps me get the story into a different format enough that, I don't know, that it feels different and I'm looking at it in a different way than if I was just looking at the screen again. I am really struggling with this one. I can't figure out quite how to end it, and there's a subplot that I wrote in here. The main character has a crush on the other main character, and I need to decide whether I'm just going to ditch that or, you know, bring that to the end and, you know, have a resolution to that. So, yeah, I'm a little bit confused about how this is working. I am going to go through this and pen it all up and see what I can figure out. I'm going to put a video on, like a stream VOD or something, just something to have on in the background. I'll probably make the volume low, but yeah. This is what I'm working on this afternoon. I technically wanted to finish the end of it before I started writing, but like I said, I've been really struggling with the ending, so I was hoping that maybe going back through this and editing it would give me some new ideas, kind of stir things up in my mind that would help me figure out what I'm doing with it. Okay, so I have a meeting seminar type thing at 10:30, which is in 24 minutes. It's really raining today, so it's very dark in here. I'll need to turn on a light, you probably noticed, but I'm going to spend that time cleaning my office because I got so far at the beginning of last week when I was working on cleaning a little bit every day and I kind of fell off of it, and it's still not bad. It needs a little more help, and I sewed a grocery bag last night to replace the ones that I recently lost. I lost a whole bunch of them, long story. And I need to put away the stuff from sewing, like my iron and my cutting board and all that. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning until it's time for my class, seminar thing. I don't know what to call it. Definitely need the light on. I don't know how much of that you got to see because the the memory card ran out of space. I don't know what I'm doing this vlog. I've never had this issue before, but apparently I'm recording a lot of long clips. Yeah, all I did, whether you missed it or not, was take the trash down from the 3 upstairs trash cans. The one in here, the one in the bathroom, and the one in the bedroom. So yeah. I got a little sidetracked because the ceiling's leaking again, but that's not a right now problem other than to put a bucket under it. Alright, let's do this. I'm going to use this pen because the other one I have is too juicy for the paper. I have... Oh yeah? Re-enter my credentials. OneDrive has stopped working. Yeah, that's on purpose. Alright, so we've got this notebook. It's, I think a moleskin, maybe? No, it's a Loic Term 1917. And I did actually have Stet Studio embossed on that in, like, 2023 when I started this notebook. This was when I first started taking classes for my business. 3 years in, I decided it might be good to learn a thing. I'm joking. This was just when I started taking, like, formal classes instead of watching things on YouTube. So, this is... Let's open up. Can you hear the rain? It sounds nice. I just wish my ceiling wasn't leaking. Alright, this is called Pitch Like a Pro from Nervous to Notable, and they're calling it a webinar. Pitch Like a Pro. Alright, I'm going to join the Zoom meeting.
Interesting. So this is my original Animal Crossing island. The one that oh my god. Forgive me, I look ridiculous.
Okay, so back from grocery shopping. I don't remember where I left off. I went to the webinar, but I realized pretty quickly into it that it was meant for businesses that were interested in getting government contracts. Like, I don't know, maybe you run a cleaning service and you want to be contracted as the people to, like, clean? I don't know. But it definitely wasn't anything that was applicable to my business. I can't imagine the Department of Defense sending out greeting cards to somebody when their pronouns changed or something like that, or buying a bunch of stickers. So I just I just decided to, leave the webinar. So we went grocery shopping and did all that. I mailed out the wholesale order that I got the other day. I thought, going to go to sorry, I've got the hiccups, a meet and greet with the author, Mary Robinette Kowal, this evening, but turns out it's tomorrow. So I don't know. My schedule keeps changing today, and I am really struggling with that. But I think what I'm going to do is finish editing draft 3 of this short story, send some follow-up emails with folks about Wholesale. I'll probably call them again next week, not on Monday morning, since that didn't seem to work. I'll try maybe Tuesday afternoon or something. But yeah, more so just, keep reaching out about stuff like that. I might take the time to kind of reorganize things a little bit. I don't know. I need to clean. I have a friend that's coming over on Sunday who's allergic to cats, so I need to kind of de-cat hair the house a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of struggling with figuring out what to do today, but I've got a Lil Cinzy Animal Crossing VOD on, and that'll be just some nice calm company while I edit this short story some more. I feel like I haven't really done that much this week that's been all that interesting. We'll see how this vlog turns out. Maybe I need to do... Well, what I would like to do is start working on the design for the Lover's card for my tarot deck. I feel like I finally got an idea of what I would like it to be. I hadn't known what I wanted it to be, but I think I know now. So I'd like to put in a little bit of time to maybe, try and get that done, but we will see. Oh, my gosh. Choked on some coffee or something. Maybe my muffin. Today I'm listening to what... Oh my gosh. Today I'm listening... Oh my gosh. My throat. Today I'm listening to What If We Get It Right by Ayanna Elizabeth Johnson. And it is... I'm listening to the audiobook, which I really recommend if you're going to read it. My gosh, my throat is still upset. It is a book that is a collection of interviews with different people from all different fields, talking about climate change and sort of what we need to do to get it right in terms of tackling climate change and mitigating what we can of it and creating a more sustainable future. So I would really recommend it, not just because it's really interesting and I learned a lot about the different things that are already being done or could be done in regards to climate change, but also because it's a really great example of how we need to embrace multiple strategies or multiple ways of doing things, like in terms of like activism and change making, because that's something that I see get talked about a lot, that there's, everybody has to find their niche, their way of helping make the world a better place, but it's kind of hard to like really wrap your head around. At least it was for me, and I see that in other people that I talk to as well. But the way that they talk about all of these different things, there's people that talk about, regenerative farming. I just got done listening to one that was about sustainable fishing and kelp farming. And there's, I think the first person she talks to is an astrophysicist maybe. And there are teachers, there are money managers and investors. There's even an AI Silicon Valley bro, which is another thing. I don't necessarily agree with every person that she talks to in this book, but I think it is also a good reminder of, in working in activism, you're probably not ever really going to agree 100% with everybody. And I think the goal is you want to find people that you agree with 70% and focus on, we're here to do one job. We agree on this one job, this one thing that needs to change, in this case, climate change. We might not agree on everything else, but we want to, help our planet recover from climate change as much as possible and create a society that can respond to the changes that are happening now and to mitigate as much suffering as possible. So, I think that's also a really good example of the strengths of this book. And this is actually my third time renting it. I've been listening to it on and off since April, and I just kind of keep not finishing it before the the 3 weeks is up that you get on Libby. But to be fair, this book is like 21 hours long. It's a long book, and I don't like to speed my books up. I will occasionally, but I've got about an hour left. I had to re-rent it with like 2 hours left, and I've listened to about an hour of it now. I just couldn't finish it. I got too many books to listen to, I guess. But anyways, I was listening to this book. That's what I was talking about. I was listening to this book while I did the last little edity bits to my Slurpunk short story that I've been working on. And I submitted it to the anthology email, call for submissions email that was given, made sure it had everything that they wanted in terms of formatting and resources. And I'm really excited that I finished it. It's been a long time since I've finished any sort of writing project, be it a short story or a longer project. Gosh, I haven't finished writing a novel in probably like 5 or 6 years. I think, yeah, because it was about 2020 was when I got my zombie apocalypse plague pandemic novel to completion, to the point where I wanted to start, pitching it to agents and stuff, which, I mean, May 2020, nobody really wanted to read a book about, a parasite and the end of the world and a pandemic and all of that. Not that I blame them. So that was the last time I finished writing a novel. And I've written some short stories since then. It's not like that was the last time I finished anything, period. But I've been doing a lot of submitting lately, past couple months, but that has been stuff that I've already written that I find fits the call for whatever with these anthologies and these projects. People have a call out for submissions rather than writing new things to fit that, which I do sometimes. And I find it a great way to explore topics and things that I just haven't thought of, but it's very time consuming. So unless like all you're gonna do with your day is sit and write these short stories for these submissions, it's not really a sustainable way to be repeatedly submitting to things. Of course, sometimes there are things that like I see it, I'm like, I like this project so much, I'm gonna write something specific for it, but I haven't had time to do that lately. So now that I've submitted the short story, the next thing I need to do is I want to find one of my Spaces Gay art prints. I think I still have one left, and they're very, very low stock because they're a favorite. And I don't think I'm going to get any more of them. I'm going to find one and pack it up because I would like to give it to Mary Robinette Kowal, the author that I'm going to be meeting tonight. I love when meeting a creator, an author, someone who makes things and puts them out into the world for our enjoyment. I like to be able to give them something. Like, obviously I buy their books or, share about them. I support authors and creators in whatever way I can, whether it's, recommending their books, buying their books, watching their videos, whatever it is. But like, if I'm going to a meet and greet or something, and I haven't been to that many, but I like to try to come up with something to give back, just as a way to say thank you. And I think that she might like the Spaces Gay print because a lot of her books take place in space. I would also really like to make her a knitting project bag because she knits, or maybe she just crochets, I don't know. She does something with yarn, and that I think would be fun, but I don't know if I'd have time to do that today. We'll just see how late it is when I get all of my other tasks for today done. Eli, the printer's printing. You already got your treats. Yeah, I trained this child unintentionally to get a treat every time the printer prints, so that he doesn't try to attack it. Ravioli? Hey! Obviously not that well. But he also taught his sister to expect a treat when the printer starts printing. He's a little genius. A diabolical genius. I suppose it depends on which corner you park at.
I've only come around the library.
Okay.
So I've only ever got to but I'm not super. I might have just ripped off by other times, or I must have walked up further for some reason.
I don't recognize that Lego stuff.